Hey everybody, we are really glad to be back here with you today, and we've got a really cool subject that we want to talk to you about. I'm Greg Anderson, Program Director, and this is Patrick Smith, our Field Director, and we are really excited to talk to you today about service. There's a lot of really cool opportunities we've got going on with service in our council. We've got really great communities that support us really well. I think that service in the BSA is one of the most impactful things that we can do. It connects our youth to the communities, and it also gives us a chance to give back. A lot of times we work with all of these community people to help us out and help us get to camp, help us do back to school nights, and this gives us an opportunity to be able to get back in touch with them and be able to help them know how much we care about them. That's kind of what scouting is all about. We want to make sure that all of our scouts are connected to the community, that they care about other people, and that this is something that's important to them, not only during their scouting years, but throughout the rest of their lives. The University of Illinois did a study that said that people who volunteer are far more happier than their counterparts. And really, I've seen it in my own life that service always has made me happy. I always get a lot more out of it than I feel like the people that I'm giving it to get.
Yeah, and community service is really ingrained in every part of the Boy Scouts of America program. The third point of the Scout Law is to be helpful. And so we want to make sure that we're giving every opportunity to our youth and our adults to understand how we can be most helpful. We have community service opportunities throughout each one of our communities, but it really is, like Greg says, a chance to give back. And it's a chance to teach our youth about civic responsibility. There are certain things that they're unable to get anymore in the curriculums at school, and so the civic opportunity that we can provide helps them with their community service hours and gives them a chance to be in touch with their community, so they're not just going to work 9 to 5 or they're coming back home to play video games. They feel a part of the community, and that's because they've spent some time in the community helping others.
So one of the biggest things that we're often asked about this is really just like, as a unit leader, how do you get this done? I mean, it's a really cool thing. Nobody really denies that this is something that you want your scouts out doing. But the real trick is how do we start thinking about this and how do we get this done? So really, logistics is kind of one of the biggest things. So some of the big things you want to think about while you're planning a service project. First off, is it age appropriate? There's going to be some things that Cub Scouts can do, and there's going to be some things that only older Scouts should be doing. If you're using pickaxes and things like that, it's probably not good for your 7-year-olds. You're going to want to do something a little bit more like trash sweeps or something like that, something that can help out the community in that way. Another thing to think about is just going to be your general logistics. Who does what, which leader is going to take care of this, who's going to drive everybody there, and you need to make sure you arrange it with whoever you're doing the service with. Make sure that they know exactly what's going on, that you agree to do the thing that's most impactful for them, and making sure that you have the open communication with them is going to be one of the most important things. And then just make sure you have all your preparation done long in advance, so when the day of the service comes, everything is smooth and ready to go. And most of the scouts won't think that any preparation went into it at all, and it just was obviously going to be that well planned already. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So the biggest thing that we kind of fall into a rut with sometimes with service projects is making these projects meaningful. We kind of do the same thing over and over again, or we're going to do something that nobody will see. So one thing that we suggest is that you try to find the most impactful things and the things that will help you connect with another human the most. If you're off doing something in the wilderness, it's not going to mean so much to the kids as if they are, over at a school helping some kids, or if they are over helping with the senior center, and they get to be able to interact and see how much this is affecting other people's lives. So that's kind of one of the biggest things. We want to make sure that we are helping. We want to make sure that, everybody in the community knows that Scouts are here to help people.
Yeah. So when we think about service projects, we want to make sure that we keep ourselves outside of the typical service project box, as it concerns with cleaning up trash, or picking up some weeds around our neighborhood, or delivering some things. We want to think about who can have the greatest impact, but also who are we going to be interacting with? Who is our scout? Who's our families going to be interacting with? And so the three kind of top organizations that we most times overlook because we're thinking about someone else outside is our charter organization. Where do we meet? Is it a church? Is it at a school? Or is it at a civic organization? What can we do to help serve them so that they can have a better program and they are getting the fruits of their labor for providing a program for us? And so what can we do with their program? Do they have fundraisers that we can go and help guide or be MCs for, or go and help make sure that people are parking correctly, or those types of things, or just be a greeter? But also thinking about where we're, if we meet at a church, what other opportunities can they help to give us with some of their fellowship activities, with their spaghetti dinners, or with their Sunday afternoon banquets, those types of things, or just giving out bulletins at the service on days that are not Scout Sundays. Because the churches that we meet at often always have more opportunities than we even think about asking about. But they're the ones who are serving us, so let's look back to serve with them. So that their community understands that they're serving youth organizations, and so that the youth is coming back into the church. And the third one, which I think is most highly overlooked, is our schools. Each one of our youth go and attend an elementary school or a middle school or a high school, and although they may not want very large groups coming in all of the time, there's certain projects that they can help facilitate with us. Whether they be Eagle Scout projects, or cleaning up around campus, or helping to serve ice cream at an ice cream social, or helping with the flag ceremony at some of our civic activities. And so our schools are the ones who are educating our youth between 7 and 3, and so let's help to give back to them, our schools, so that they feel that we're not just asking, but we're helping to provide something for them and the community. And so when we're looking to organize our activities, let's think about outside of the box service opportunities, and let's hit those first 3 the best so that we can create better relationships and get the most out of them like they're trying to get the most out of us.
Definitely. Another couple of good ones that you might want to look into. There's always work that needs to be done at camp. All of our camps are very beautiful places, but it's kind of nice for the scouts to be able to connect with the places that they're at. It kind of helps them remember, oh, hey, when we're done camping, we should remember to clean up, because we know what it's like to clean up. Another good spot is just with your community. If your community is having any events, volunteering at those events is a great way to make great connections with the community and to just show everybody what scouting means. So a lot of great ways.
Yep.
So one other thing we wanted to talk about is logging service hours. Service hours is one of those things that we want to make sure that we're keeping track of, so that we know that how many we're doing this year, how many we've done last year, and just making sure that we're doing better and better every year. We keep those, and we also use those on the district and council level just to see what we can do to help you guys out. What kind of opportunities can we give you guys to be able to serve your community better, and how we can serve you a little bit better. So it's actually a pretty easy way to go in and log those on. It only takes a couple minutes. There is a website which we'll post below, and you just go to that, and if you don't have a username right now, it's really easy to set one up. You'll need to have your unit ID number, so you can either get that from your unit itself, or you can give us a call here at the office and we can get that for you really easily. And you just walk through the steps, it'll set you up, and then every time you go in and do a service project, you just write down how many hours you did with how many kids and what you did. And it's really cool to see at the end of the year all the things that your scouts have been able to do to help other people at all times. So thank you all so much for joining us today. We've really enjoyed talking about service, and we hope you guys have enjoyed listening to us, and we look forward to talking to you all again.
Very good.